Anomalous expansion of water. All materials will expand upon heating, isn't it? Suppose this metal scale is at 0 degrees Celsius and it is heated from 0 degrees Celsius, then this expands. Length increases, width increases, thickness also increases. You know, this is thermal coefficient of expansion. Most of the materials will expand upon heating. Now consider water at 0 degrees Celsius. Water at 0 degrees Celsius. Of course, ice at 0 degrees Celsius, after supplying heat, the ice is melted to water and that water is at 0 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now start heating water at 0 degrees Celsius. If this is initial volume of water at 0 degrees Celsius, then volume first decreases. Remember, we are heating from 0 degree. Volume first decreases up to 4 degree. After that it increases. In the case of other materials, it just expands. They just expand. Whereas water from 0 degree first contracts and then expands. This abnormal behavior is called anomalous expansion of water. Now, whatever I have explained, let me go through this with respect to a graph. A graph of volume of 1 kg of water into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter cube. 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter cube versus temperature in 0 degrees Celsius. First understand y coordinate, x coordinate, and later the graph, the curve. Volume of 1 kg of water. 1 kg of water means it is 1 liter, 10 to the power of minus 3. But that volume is not fixed. It depends on temperature. So this is 1.00000 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter cube. SI unit is meter cube. This volume is 1.00013 10 to the power of minus 3 meter cube. And this volume is 1.04343. Okay. So we have to increase this value on y-axis. Naturally, we can get this value somewhere there, isn't it? So for that reason, this symbol is used. So this y-axis is not according to scale. Not all values are covered here. Okay. Similarly, on x-axis, this is 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree, 5 degree. So this is 5 degree. So this cannot be 100 degree, isn't it? According to scale. So that is why this symbol is used. So you will find such symbols in graphs if all the values are not counted, plotted. Okay. Now, at 0 degrees Celsius, volume of water is 1.00013. So when water is heated from 0 degree, the volume first decreases up to 4 degree. Up to 4 degree, it decreases. After that, it increases. It increases. We are not covering all these temperatures. So let me show like this. This initial decrease in volume, initial contraction, is called anomalous expansion of water. So of course, this is contraction. If water is cooled from some higher temperature or from room temperature, then volume decreases. Volume decreases. When it is cooled below 4 degrees Celsius till 0 degrees Celsius, then it expands. That is anomalous expansion of water. Okay. You should not argue why there is no anomalous contraction. Of course, you can say that, but anomalous expansion of water means when it is cooled from when it is cooled from room temperature. That's how you should take it. Okay. So because of decrease in volume and then increase in volume, density of water also changes with respect to temperature. Now let us see how density changes with respect to temperature. Now a graph of density of water versus temperature. Density of water versus temperature. At 0 degree Celsius, water has some density. From 0, volume decreases with the increase in temperature. So with the increase in temperature, density has to increase and then density decreases. So this is a graph of density versus temperature, and density is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius, and this density is, this value is 1000 kg per meter cube. So density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube, 1 gram per cc. We have used this value, isn't it? So that density is defined at 4 degrees Celsius. So density increases, becomes maximum at 4 degree. After that, density decreases because volume decreases and volume is minimum at 4 degrees Celsius. So these two graphs can be asked for 1 mark each. Here is a standard question. Using anomalous expansion of water, explain freezing of lakes or ponds during winter. Now let us use the graph of density versus temperature. Density versus temperature of water is this. Density is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. This is temperature in degrees Celsius, and this y-axis density. Suppose this is a lake, water in this lake. Let me try to explain freezing from 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, if this water body is at 10 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius, some density. Water is exposed to atmosphere, so surface of water is in contact with atmosphere and temperature of air decreases, means temperature of water also decreases because heat loss takes place from water to atmosphere. If temperature decreases to 9 degrees Celsius, now this portion is 9 degrees Celsius, 9 degrees Celsius, density is more. Density of water at 9 degrees Celsius is more than density of water at 10 degree. So this part of the liquid water is at 9 degrees Celsius, means its density is more. Higher dense liquid sinks and higher temperature water floats to the surface. Now this 9 degree sinks and 10 degree water goes up. Again 10 degree is exposed to air, it loses heat energy to the air, it becomes 9 degree, again it sinks, 10 degree water will goes to the surface, again it loses heat, it becomes 9 degree, it sinks. In my explanation I am taking integral values, 10 degree, 9 degree, 8 degree. Okay. Now when complete lake is at say 9 degrees Celsius, then 9 degree water loses heat energy to the surrounding medium, then it becomes 8 degree. 8 degree is here, 8 degree is much denser, so it sinks. So 8 degree water sinks, 9 degree water goes up, it loses energy, it becomes 8 degree water, again it sinks, 9 degree water goes up. There is convection current. Current is flow, isn't it? Flow of water. So there is exchange of heat due to actual movement of particles. Of course, it is difficult to see this convection current, but it will be taking place. Now, once the surface temperature becomes 4 degrees Celsius, observe 4 degree density is maximum. Now, this 4 degree loses heat energy to the surrounding, and if this becomes 3 degrees Celsius, see 3 degrees Celsius density is less. 3 degree water density is less. Therefore, the 3 degree water will be on the surface. Now, temperature of this portion of water is 3 degree. It loses heat energy to the surrounding. It becomes 2 degree. 2 degree density is much lesser. It will be floating. It is above this 4 degree water. Again, this loses heat energy. It becomes 1 degree Celsius. So this water is 1 degree Celsius. Again, it becomes 0 degree Celsius. This water is 0 degree Celsius because cold water 3, 2, 1, 0 degree temperature water is less denser and it will be floating. Now, if this is water at 0 degree Celsius, this is water at 0 degree Celsius which is exposed to outside, then this further loses energy and freezing takes place from the surface. So there is formation of ice from the top. Again, there is formation of ice from the top. So formation of ice starts from the top and not from the bottom. Second thing, as the formation of ice takes place, ice is a bad conductor of heat. Ice is a bad conductor of heat. So this doesn't allow heat energy to escape from this warm water to outside. If there is no sufficient time, then naturally freezing, no more freezing takes place. So formation of ice will be only at the top. And this is water, liquid phase. If it is in liquid phase, then the aquatic life, fishes, then worms, different insects, then plants, all those things will survive inside water. Suppose if the depth of the lake is small, then during winter season, if entire water freezes, then there is no escape for aquatic life. So we get a picture why freezing takes place from the top and not from the bottom. And this can be explained using anomalous expansion of water. Students, PDF of the notes is given. Just go through the notes. So that is sufficient for 1 mark, 2 mark or 3 mark conceptual type question. Okay. Thermal stress. Thermal stress. Stress is force by area. Let this be a metal rod. The metal rod is fixed between two rigid supports. This metal rod is between two rigid supports. If temperature of this metal rod increases, so this symbol represents heating. If temperature increases, then metal should expand. It should expand in all three dimensions, length, width and height. But here length cannot increase because of these two rigid supports. As a result, a stress is developed inside the metal. That stress is due to thermal energy. So that is why it is called thermal stress. Now let us derive an expression for thermal stress in terms of Young's modulus. Yes, Young's modulus, the one which you have studied under elasticity. Young's modulus denoted by Y equal to force by area, stress by strain. Strain is change in length to original length, equal to rearrange, force by area delta L by L. So Young's modulus is FL by A into delta L. L is actual length, delta L is change in length. All these things you know. Force by area is stress, Y into delta L by L. So this stress is in terms of Young's modulus. We are talking about this length. Expansion in one dimension, temperature coefficient of linear expansion. Alpha equal to fractional change in length for every degree change in temperature. Observe, I want delta L by L. Alpha is temperature coefficient of linear expansion, which is change in length by original length, fractional change in length for every degree change in temperature, or delta L by L. Delta L by L is alpha into delta T. Implies. Now let me substitute this in this. Thermal stress force by length equal to Young's modulus into alpha delta T. So in place of delta L by L, let me write alpha delta T. Delta T is change in temperature. 4 degree rise in temperature, 10 degrees change in temperature. So that difference is this. This is thermal stress. So thermal stress depends on Young's modulus of the material. Thermal stress depends on temperature coefficient of linear expansion. Also depends on the temperature difference. If you know that thermal stress is directly proportional to the temperature difference, you can answer questions like this. Thermal stress is 2 unit for temperature difference 5 degrees Celsius. 2 unit for 5 degree temperature difference. What happens to the thermal stress if temperature difference is doubled? If temperature difference is doubled, then thermal stress also gets doubled. That you can decide only when you know that this is directly proportional to delta T. So that is why it is always important to remember all these equations. All these equations properly. Notes is there in the PDF. You can also copy this. Practice.